morning, Mr. Michael Raucci. Michael Raucci is the general manager of New Country Toyota of Clifton Park. But his greatest pride comes with being a proud resident of Mechanicville, where he was born and bred, and where he has chosen to stay. Michael was chosen by this year's senior class leadership to speak on our behalf, as he truly emulates what it means to understand and support this community. Mr. Raucci's generosity has led to multiple opportunities for our students, from academic programming to extracurricular offerings to athletics, helping less fortunate, bringing in programs educating our children to help them make good life choices, helping to provide safe and positive programs such as our After Prom initiative and safe driving events, and facilitating school and community events in every way. Mr. Raucci continually gives of his time and resources to make our school and community a better place, and his commitment to this community is unparalleled. He is an exemplary role model, community supporter, student and program advocate, and champion of our district. And it is with great pride that I introduce Mr. Michael Raucci to speak on behalf of the class of 2018.
Thank you. I would like to thank the class of 2018 for thinking of me to say a few words for you here today on your special day. Congratulations. I also want to thank Superintendent Dr. Michael J. McCarthy, High School Principal Kevin Kolakowski, Middle School Principal Mr. Craig Forth, my fellow board members. I also want to thank Michael and Jared Cantanucci, my owners, for their love and trust in allowing me a platform to support our community that I love in any way that I can. I want to thank all my teachers, my coaches, my school nurses, the best lunch ladies in the West that took the time to make me a better person than I am today. I also want to thank my beautiful wife, Marcy, my three beautiful kids, Dylan, Isabella, and Ethan, and our 6 crazy dogs. I also want to thank the best district in the city of Mechanicville for all the love and support that you've shown me personally over the past 47 years. And a thank you to Ms. Sandy McBride for helping me organize my thoughts today. Class of 2018, you could have chosen a famous politician, a famous newscaster, maybe a radio personality, but you chose me. Michael Raucci, little Mike Raucci from 144 South 2nd Street, son of John and Marjorie Raucci, brother to John, Scott, and my baby sister Tara. Life was not easy for us. We lived paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes we never knew where our next meal was coming. My mother was our rock. She worked 3 jobs, held our family together in that little 100-pound body. We only had a house growing up because my mom took care of a woman named Evelyn Niebler. And Evelyn loved my mother and knew that she took care of her kids with all of her heart and left the house to us. Our mother raised us and tried to help my father, which suffered from a severe addiction to gambling, which never allowed him to be the father and the husband that he could have been. Growing up, we never had name brand clothes. We never had a good car. Our house was painted 2 different colors for 3 years. We qualified for the HUD program in the early 80s, which got our house sided, which I was happy about. We were on the food stamp program, and I was on the school lunch program as a little boy. My lunch ladies, Shirley Zerlo and Anna Siciliano, always made sure that we got extra food or my extra peanut butter cookie that I loved on pizza day. The only reason I ever got a pair of Nike sneakers growing up is because my mother scraped up change in dollar bills they gave to me. They gave me $20. I rode my little bike as fast as I could down to Val Sporting Goods, and if anybody who lives here, you know Val was a good man. I went in that store, it smelled like sneakers and cigarettes and muffins. It was a crazy place. And I sat there and I stared at my sneakers I wanted, little Nikes. Val came over to me and he said, "How can I help you?" I said, "I'd like to get a pair of Nike sneakers." And I said, "I want those right there." I said, "How much are those?" He said, "They're $45. And I said, "Well, I've only got $20 in change in small bills." He said, "Who's your mother?" I said, "Marjorie Rose Raucci." He said, "Give me the $20. And he gave me that. And I never forgot that act of kindness that day. We never took a family vacation because we could never afford to. Luckily for me, I had good friends, Paul and Angie Sirkowski, Barbara and Bernie Kraszewski, my best friend growing up, Eagle, and my best friend, Scotty, took me on their family vacations with them. And I never forgot that. We had more struggles than good times. Heartbreak and disappointment than you can ever imagine. I always prayed as a little boy to have a better life. But I'll be honest with everybody in this room, I would never change the way I grew up because it helped me, shape me into the man that I became today. Look, I'm going to tell this class, I'm going to tell this auditorium, life is not all something you see in a movie. It can be crushing, and it can take your breath away at times, and it can be heartbreaking. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Our mother always brought us up to be respectful to our teachers, be honest and ethical as a person, because she always told us, we don't have any money, but you always have your word to take with you. When I was a little boy, I had a paper route. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Price Chopper doing bottles and bagging groceries, and I'm proud of those jobs. I love those jobs. And some of my favorite jobs I ever had were those jobs. I met a lot of great people. I loved hearing their personal stories. I loved sharing memories with them. And it helped me become the success that I am today in the car business and in life. I never won any awards at graduation. I never received any scholarships. I didn't work hard enough when I was back in school to deserve them then. But I was very happy for my friends that did. And one thing I want to say to you all today is be happy for your fellow classmate or your fellow people. Don't be jealous. Be happy for them. I want to share my personal story with you because if you were like me and school didn't come easy for you, I want to let you know it's okay. I want you to know if you have learning disabilities or suffered from depression or anxiety, it's okay, because I did on this very stage back 28 years ago. If you didn't have many friends, if you weren't the best athlete, if you weren't in any cliques, guess what? That's okay too. Because guess what? After you leave this stage today, that all changes. Remember, your past does not equal your future. Just because you didn't have a great experience in school, don't let that define the rest of your life. I've harnessed all the sadness and anything that's ever been bad that's happened to me into strength and resilience. I grew up with a lot of compassion that I had gotten from my mother. My mom cried watching St. Jude commercials. She took care of her private patients in home care for 30 years, taking care of her friends with AIDS in the 80s when people were ignorant about the disease. She always taught us to never throw a stone. Don't be a hypocrite, because our family, believe me, was far from perfect. My mom always encouraged us to be ourselves, and that's how I've always been, myself. The night before my mom died, remember it like yesterday, March 3rd, before she took her last breaths on this earth, her breasts were getting shorter, cancer was ravaging her little small body, and you know something? She never complained once. You know what she cared about? She cared about her 4 kids. And that's what she cared about. That's what she lived for. And my mom gave all of us that night a St. Jude piece, which I carry here today. I carry it every place I've ever went. It's a simple message. It says, St. Jude, please pray for my son Michael always. Love, Mom. And, you know, I think 2 of the greatest gifts you can give to someone is love and compassion. I promised her that night that I would always, and I mean always, watch over my brothers and my sister to put her mind at ease at night. That was how our mom was. And that's all she ever wanted, was to love and take care of her 4 kids. My baby sister, Tara, left when she was 17 for New York City, then on to Los Angeles to pursue her career to be an actress. She's done many national commercials and plays and still lives in Los Angeles today, still following her passion of fine arts. My brother Scott was a star athlete, ran a 4.240, punted a ball, averaged 55 yards a punt, and could have went on to play Division I football. But instead, Scott started a family at 18. He went on to have 2 beautiful daughters, Jessica and Jamie. He had a great job at GE until he suffered a devastating, and I mean devastating, aneurysm in 1999 that changed his life and his family forever. My brother lives in that very house that we grew up with, and I will take care of him for the rest of his days. My brother John, many of you don't know my brother John. Beautiful looking guy, takes care of himself unlike his little brother, looks like a model. I always call him Zoolander. I always tease him a little bit, but John's a real success story. John was supposed to walk across this stage in 1980, but he dropped out of school with 3 weeks left to go because he had a handicap. John had hearing loss and he stuttered. And he was embarrassed to read in front of a crowd like this. His teacher said that was a requirement for graduation, so John dropped out and left for Louisiana to work in the oil fields for 2 years and found out just how tough life can be. 2 years later, John came back to Mechanicville. And I'm happy to tell you, he went and got his GED. He went to the Junior College of Albany and got a 3.9 average. He went on to Colgate University, which is almost an Ivy League school, to pursue his BA in biology. He took classes at Albany Medical College. He worked in research at the Albany Medical Center for 7 years. And then he went to one of the premier research hospitals in the world, our mom's favorite, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, for 20 plus years, researching genetic cancer. Being a co-author on numerous research papers, his work is published and respected in scientific journals around the world. And John's still writing his story. It's being written as we speak. He left at 55 after getting advice from his little brother to follow his passion. He wants to write movies and screenplays now. And you know what he does? He does that at night, does CrossFit in the morning every day, and he works at the Los Angeles Children's Hospital researching cancer still to this day. I went on to find my success and my passion in the automotive business. I didn't let my hardships define me. I was fortunate to have good mentors like Ralph Kramer, Jack Byrne from Jack Byrne Ford, Neil Race, who was like a father to me. They taught me that you can be successful in the car business with being honest, like I was brought up by my mom. I love my customers. I set my goals to be one of the top salesmen in the United States. Achieved that goal by 2000, right after my mom had passed away. I grew my business between doing 50 to 75 cars a month, becoming the top Ford salesman, not in the state, but in the United States, selling 700 cars my last year out of this 1 square mile beautiful city. I had companies calling me to do training across the U.S., and with that came other job offers. The only thing I never wanted to do was leave my community because of how loyal that everyone has been to me. I met Michael Cantanucci, the owner of New Country, at a wake of all places. We struck up a conversation which would change my life forever. We met again, and he offered me the general manager position at Toyota of Clifton Park. I was so excited because I could further my career but stay right here where I wanted to. He asked me, what do we have to do, Mike, to build our business? And I said, Michael, simply, we have to build our business through our community. When I took that store over, it was doing 40 to 60 cars per month at the time. A lot of my peers in the car business thought I was crazy to leave my success in Ford, but I knew by doing the right thing and investing in this great community that good things would happen. It's all word of mouth and investment in our community to me. When I took over this underperforming store, many people had their doubts, and that's okay. I went on to build that store with my team, now from doing 40 to 60 to do over 200 cars and trucks and SUVs per month. We have won 12 presidential awards, which is the highest honor for Toyota motor sales, and we have become one of the top performing dealerships in the Eastern U.S., and we owe everything to many of the people that are sitting here in this audience today. Thank you very much. I share my business success with you and my family stories because I don't ever want anyone on this stage or this audience to ever feel alone. I don't want you to feel down. I don't want you to feel hopeless because with dreams, anything is possible. If you put your mind to it and set your goals, I want you to be inspired to dream. I want you to be inspired to hope and have faith that even in our darkest hours, you can overcome anything. I've gotten to travel around the U.S., meeting the top Ford and Toyota executives. You know the funny thing about it? They love coming to see me here in Mechanicville because I'm real. And I never forgot where I came from. We don't go to fancy restaurants in Albany or the surrounding area. We go to Bubbles and get breakfast or the End Zone or one of my friends here because I want to support my city. They love that. They love that small town feel. And I've never changed who I was as I became more successful. Toyota USA has established an award. It's called the Best in Town, which exemplifies exactly how we built Toyota of Clifton Park. We have a challenge for the future, just like you do here today. Lou Holt said, one of my favorite quotes, "You're either growing or you're dying." That can be in your business, in your relationships, or in life. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles in life develop your strength when you go through the hardships and decide not to surrender. That is your strength. That is my strength. Live your life with passion and a thirst that you want to be the best. I love being an underdog. I love when people doubt me. I love when someone knocks me down, because guess what? I'm going to get right back up and be stronger than ever. And you should do the same when you leave here today. I'm going to tell everybody in this audience, everybody on Facebook, anybody that's listening, knock in Mechanicville, knock in our school, knock in our city. Guess what? You don't like it? Move, or do as I did. Come here and bring your family, stay here and invest in your community. Do something about it. Get off the couch. Because it's important to me to support my customers and my friends, because what's important to them is important to me. We donated a car back in 2007 to help save the sports programs that raised $60,000, breast cancer walks, booster clubs, buying kids uniforms, our Little League, walks for suicide. We also partner with my friends like CJ DiCrescenti, John and Danny Pickett, Scott Earl, and Bruce Tansky to feed over 800 families every year to help make our community better. To have a meal, enjoy a little dinner with their family, and any other possible thing we can do to get involved. I want to make our community a better place. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution. There have been many success stories that have came from this little school, so be proud while you sit up here today. I don't hang your head. Someone asks you, where are you from? Like I go, any place in the U.S. or traveling around the world. I'm from Mechanicville, New York, and I'm proud of it. And I'll never forget where I come from. There have been many success stories that have came from this 1 square mile. You have Angelo and Carmine and CJ DiCrescenti started their business with one beer truck in 1948 and a few cases of beer. Now that little company has grown and invested millions in our city to build some beautiful new buildings and employs over 400 people. They have delivered over 10 million cases of beer now and soft drinks, and have become one of the biggest distributors in the United States. And it gives a huge boost to our local economy, and they are always giving back to make a difference. John and Dan Pickett started their own dreams out of a garage in Mechanicville, started Infrastructure Technologies. They turned that garage into a multi-million-dollar company of success, at their height employing over 400 employees. They also started the Pickett Foundation to honor their mother, Ro, which died of cancer, and has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to make this community a better place. And John is still writing his story as he opened up another successful company called Evolution Construction. You can't be afraid to fail in life. Put yourself out there. Peter Iannello, which was good friends of my brother Scott, operates Mount Felix Vineyards and Winery in Maryland, has partnered with Big Papi. Chad Brown graduated Cornell University and now has become one of the top thoroughbred trainers in the world. Joe McMahon owns McMahon's of Saratoga, who bred a Kentucky Derby winner. They were like you. They were all kids from Mechanicville who are making, or going to be making, a mark on this world. Be proud of who you are and where you come from every day. I want to give this class and this auditorium a challenge. I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do with the days of your life, which some people call the dash? The time you were born or the time you're going to die? What are you going to do? How are you going to become a better person? I know what I'm going to do. I know that I'm going to do my best to be the best husband to my wife, Marcy. I'm going to do my best to be the best dad that I can for Dylan, Isabel, and Ethan, and teach them how to be respectful and work hard and dream, because what are you if you don't have hopes and dreams? And I'm going to love this school, I'm going to love this city, and I'm going to love this community until the day I die. And I'm going to do everything I can in my power to be a positive leader and make it better every single day. And to my friends in the class of 2018, congratulations. Congratulations on your future success. And always remember these words. Be who you are, do what you love, make a difference every day, and go out and change the world when you leave this stage here today. Thank you very much.